Cowabunga.
Hey everybody, Jimmy with the Triple C Collective, and
Collin here.
And we are ready to bring you our, 35th, now 36th year anniversary pod about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990. I'm so excited about this. This is one of our, original fandoms, one of our,
Yeah, we definitely connected on this one
early on and stuff, and so... Basically, I mean, at this point, last year, we can kind of say it, Arrow came out with a really great, new collection of TMNT. They did, this is the limited look, and that's the regular look. But, they came out with a beautiful 4K scan of it. And, of course, I have my TMNT one not, with me. But they came out with a beautiful 4K scan that they've been re-releasing into theaters. So they did the first one in August of last year, which I did get a chance to see. And that leads me to my first question here. For TMNT, this first movie, have you ever seen it in theaters?
with you, right? Didn't I say it? Oh no, we didn't go. I didn't go. I couldn't go.
Yeah,
no, I haven't actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, because of that, I haven't seen it in theaters, which is sad.
Right. I mean,
and by the second one, I was still a little young. I don't remember seeing movies that often.
Yeah, that's still
that,
I mean, what? You're born in 80. You're
the
89,
one,
and I'm 88. So we're still 3, 4 when these movies are coming out. So I can't really. I definitely never saw them originally in theaters. These for sure were the peak of the at-home VHS, running that thing out until it just doesn't work anymore.
Exactly.
But I did get to see the original print one other time, and it was at Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Rhoda and I, shout out Rhoda, our buddy Rhoda. We ended up going out there. Seeing that, and that was really cool because that was the first time that I've ever seen it. And then back in August, I saw the 4K print of it.
Yeah.
I guess anything else? Anything else about this movie? We talked a little bit about what this movie meant to us when we did the last Ronin pod. I mean, this is our gateway to Turtles, without a doubt. It wasn't.
Yeah, I feel like if you were a boy growing up in our era, your personality is based on at least one of the Turtles.
Yeah, right. You
or if you're a mix of a few of them, but yeah.
But yeah, you definitely clung to one, or you made your identity.
I think me and you were both pretty Mikey.
Yeah, right. And
Cowabunga.
But Cowabunga, baby, and Booyakasha. But these movies have we've just been watching them for 36 years now.
And it was one of those movies I probably hadn't watched in probably 15 years before I rewatched it, and I was a little worried when you rewatch it. You never know what childhood movie's gonna suck.
Will it hold up?
And this movie for the most part holds up. It looks good still. The lighting in this is something that's kind of crazy, how gritty it looks, and people like to say dark nowadays, but it's not dark in tone. It's just it looks gritty. It looks
like New York City.
It looks lived in the city for sure. Yeah, just like Ghostbusters we were talking about. That's a good analogy because those two movies feel very similar in their approach to the city. One's
of taking this these really fantastical ideas, ghosts being a real thing, and that you can fight them, bust them, and put them away. Basically,
you're in the middle of this real place in New York, and everything just feels real. And then all of a sudden, these mutant turtles that are 6 feet tall turtles don't look that weird, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Not quite 6 feet. They were short kings in this movie.
That's true. Sometimes they're smaller than April O'Neil.
Yeah.
So there's some odd sizing issues sometimes in this movie. That's at this point when you're watching a movie so often, so much, I've lost count how many times I've watched this movie. So when you're doing things like that, naturally you're just gonna, no matter how much you love it,
if you pick it up on the first time, that usually means it's a bad movie. If you pick it up on the 15th time, it's a little different.
That's absolutely
continuity
different.
Errors happen in any form of media.
And all the greats have them. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has them. And it doesn't make the movie any less good, bad, or whatever.
Right.
I do gotta say though, like I love this movie. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. This movie just like means the world to me.
Same.
Uh,
But we, speaking of like a version of it, we maybe wouldn't want to see is the UK version that we just watched, right?
okay, yeah, let's talk about let's talk
'cause-
about that UK version. So
yeah, you can cut a movie and make it a little different, but that was just ugly. It made it ugly, is all it did.
yeah, so like, so again, part of the like, so I never heard about this mythical UK cut of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 1990 movie, until NECA about like 7 years ago in like 2018 or something, like started releasing Super Shredders based off like Secret of the Ooze, and they did a Secret of the Ooze they did a Secret of the Ooze like UK version of it, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then like, so like then I started looking into it, and I was like, I've never heard about this. I've never
Right.
even seen I've never seen this cut or anything about it. And as a Mikey fan, I gotta say, like, it's damn, man. They cut Mikey out of this movie so much.
Yeah.
And like even on the like menu, they're like, hey, like some of the original like footage is just like is what's left from that like finalized like print, because everything else is like lost of it or whatever. So they were like, be careful of like glaring like quality issues not always seen in the 4K.
Yeah, it'll just be like zoomed in or like there'll be sides cut off just to cut off Mikey's nunchucks.
Yeah, it's
like let's get into it. The UK cannot show nunchucks apparently.
Yeah.
Or could not. I don't know if that's still a thing, but they at that point it was it was not good. They couldn't show that on TV or on movies, so they had to cut around it, and it's just completely cuts off Mikey's character from being
Yeah.
in it as much as he could be.
And like, I mean, it's even like little things too, to like Mikey ordering pizza on like the phone, to like, you know, them even dancing in the lair, or like, I mean, the most egregious thing in my opinion, and I think it's kind of probably a wide thing, is that in April's apartment, where Mikey has literally the nunchuck showdown with the foot member, like that's completely gone.
Yeah,
And
between
just go,
that and the ending, like you were saying.
yeah, and like, and then the other most glaring thing is like it almost changes like kind of the ending of the movie. We were just watching it before we started recording, and when Shredder is running with his spear at like Splinter, you don't see Splinter pull out the like nunchucks to hold on to him. There is no like additional additional like conversation or whatever when like Splinter has it and then it gets like let go or whatever. Like it literally just looks like Shredder's running trying to like joust Splinter, and then Splinter grabs the spear and just tosses him over his head like a sack of potatoes.
Just absolute murder.
Like it's
there's no
like,
struggle involved or like any fighting back or defensive moves, just straight murder.
It's,
and I get it. They're messing with him. He was tortured for like a week or two.
I mean, right? He was tortured. He was about to try and like kill his kids. I don't blame Splinter, but I mean, like, it's a choice to try for censorship,
and like I was
censor that.
Telling him like there's more dangerous weapons than nunchucks. I understand like kids were probably super into nunchucks at the time, but stick.
Yeah,
you could pick up any stick and beat Donatello. Like, and there's sharp knives and swords, and those are fine. Sure, they don't cut anyone, but the nunchucks aren't doing anything either, but being like props for silly jokes mostly. Other than that last scene, which does make a differance.
Yeah,
in its presentation. So yeah,
it makes a wild difference about it. So like it would, again, I love this, like we're gonna be talking a lot about the Arrow edition because it's a great edition of the TMNT whole trilogy and everything, and like it's the 4K scans that like you get at home on the Arrow edition are what they're playing in theaters. So like when Secret of the Ooze comes out March 13th through like the 19th, like it'll be virtually that same version that the Arrow edition is, just put up on the big screen, which is going to be just as amazing. Like, I'm not trying to talk anyone out of it. Go see Secret of the Ooze on the big screen. Like, like I'm excited. I'm incredibly excited for that.
Yeah.
I might try and see if I can convince my daughter to come with me. She's only dabbling into the '90s like Turtles. She's still
I can
not.
imagine.
It is a little too dark and a little too spooky, a little too
old,
real,
probably too.
like a little too real for her.
Yeah, that makes
in that sense. But anyhow, so the UK cut. Anything else you want to say about it?
Nah,
like,
just chill out, UK. What's that all about, man? You're killing my man Mikey. I understand if like Americans are like, my favorite turtle's Mikey, and you guys are like, what? That dude sucks. He's annoying. He just stands in the way mostly.
He and like, so speaking of that, I mean, we can move into like some of our favorite things about this movie, and one of them, without a doubt, is like my all-time favorite character, because he's my all-time favorite turtle, is Mikey.
Yeah, Michelangelo is so good. He's so funny. He's but like I think when I was a kid, it was probably a toss-up between him and Raph. Raph was always just so dope, like as the tough brooding type, but also like
Raph has some of the best lines in this movie.
Yeah, that's also what's and his sweet New York accent's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like changing New York accent throughout the movie. It's like different New York accents. But it's his but for sure Mikey's like the character I love the most. But then now as I'm older, like Donatello's like really cool in my eyes. Like I used to think I didn't like him as much. Like, and then Leo, of course, man. Like, shouts out.
I've always liked Donatello because I've always been a tinkerer.
Oh yeah.
Know? But like I mean, party dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Party dude better than tinkerer, or like is my preferred in my eyes. So, but I also, for the longest time before like IMDb was like really like up and running as like a legitimate thing.
Right.
I remember just trying to convince people that Sam Rockwell was also in this movie as the guy that
I could see that being difficult
that asks like regular or menthol when the one new like Foot Clan like member.
Hey, you got any
like,
cigarettes?
Yeah, got any cigarettes? Regular or menthol?
Yeah.
And then he actually doesn't even give that guy a carton of cigarettes or anything. He tosses it to somebody else, and they keep on.
Yeah.
He tosses one of them to somebody else, and he keeps the other one.
I'm cool as shit. I don't know about you. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm cool. But yeah, basically, he's in the movie, and I can imagine that being difficult back in the day to prove to somebody. But he's only in it a few times, and he's definitely, if you miss him, he's like in the beginning, middle, and end, literally.
Yeah.
And man, he looks so young, and he's a handsome dude, Sam Rockwell. He's come a long way, because if you look at the cast list, like probably at the time, who was the most popular? Corey Feldman. Now look like how many years? 36 years later, and Sam Rockwell's by far the most like acclaimed person on that list.
Yeah,
and
like,
it's pretty cool to see.
And because like Sam Rockwell is now not only did he do like these small parts, but then he became like a great like second or third man in a lot of movies.
That's my favorite part about Sam Rockwell.
Like seeing him go like in a lot of ways for me, it was seeing Sam Rockwell in this. And then, like 6 years later or 9 years later, whenever Galaxy Quest comes out, is seeing him again in that. And
he's
then
willing
just
to
like
be a character actor. He's willing to be the third on call. You know, he's when his scene shows up, he is always going to be
he's there,
noticeable. And even in Turtles, like, oh man, this scene is kind of the menthol, regular menthol scene is kind of legit. Like,
yeah,
and he eats up every scene he's in. Like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Because he's part of the people who jump April at the beginning. He's, and then at the
that's easy to miss, but like
yeah, because I mean it is so dark. Like they're not trying to like really give away everybody who's in there, and so there's that. And then he shows up. Obviously, he's like right next to Casey Jones at the end, like for the Shredder showdown, right before Casey commits like manslaughter.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And closes the trash truck
100%.
on Shredder too. Like
Everyone's just trying to kill Shredder.
I mean,
and understandable.
I get it. He's trying
in
to take...
retrospect, it's understandable. In the moments they're doing it, it's like, wait, what do you mean?
It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, Casey, you're a little too quick to draw there.
Yeah, like we're not even thinking.
Right.
We're not even giving a thought. He does.
He's got a Jose Canseco bat. What a cheap man.
I mean, come on, man. Like, you didn't pay money for this.
But yeah, I love their relationship, Raph and Casey's. It's so funny. Like, it's so like New York. Hey, girl. Nice to interrupt. But yeah, it's so New York of these two to like to be so bantery like that.
Right? But to also have this like big ego like brawl like fight against each other, and then like have the respect of being like,
yeah,
oh no, it's all right, we worked it out. Like we're
they
good
fight,
now.
but they're on the same side, so it's like, all right, we'll work together, and then they end up becoming buds through all that. But bantering's a very big city thing that sometimes you go to the country and you talk like we talk to each other, and it's like, are you guys gonna fight? It's like, oh no, we're best friends. Yeah.
We're friends.
We're
It's just how it is.
So yeah, that's an understandable thing when New York movies have that type of stuff, because Chicago's very similar. So shout out Mikey, he likes deep dish.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
That's another cool character thing I noticed today. He's like, let's get some deep dish.
Yeah, when when Danny shows up, and like one of the best lines in the movie is like when he pops out from here.
Yeah,
Danny's hiding in the closet. The turtles are just coming back from the farmhouse and stuff, and like they hear Danny in like the little closet or whatever, and like the turtles and April and Casey open up the doors, and he's like, don't shoot, and Raph's just like, don't think it's loaded, kid. It's like, that is like Raph's response back to that, with him like showing his sigh is absolutely like,
like he's Donnie's pointing at the bow, at him, and everyone's just they don't have guns.
Yeah.
But it's so funny.
I don't think it's loaded, kid. Is like, again, Raph has some of the best lines, but he's always just so like mean and angry.
Yeah.
That I was always like, I don't want to be like Raph.
Yeah.
I want to be like Mikey.
For sure. That was the thing for me too. Like, he was cool, but it was like a little too much.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
All right, calm down, man.
Yeah.
Like, go touch some grass or something.
Exactly. Go touch some slime, bro.
Right?
Get out of the sewer.
One of the, like, obviously another classic Raph line is the damn!
Yeah, exactly.
That
When
he
Casey
gets.
gets away.
Yeah, which I've gotta say is crazy. I was reading the comic adaptions, the Archie comic and the Mirage adaptation of the TMNT movie, and in both of these, they have an additional scene right before Raph and Casey meet for the first time, and it's Casey Jones sitting down, like on like a recliner kind of chair, like just flipping through channels, seeing like bad newscasts, like terror, war, all that kind of stuff, and he kind of just like grumbles, turns off the TV, and heads out. And what it leads into is where he finds the two muggers that Raph just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if I'm being honest, that's one thing that like I found in here, and we were talking a little bit beforehand, that I was like, kind of wish they would have like shot that, or like kind of had a little scene about it, because it would have been just a different, I mean, it gives a different kind of intro to Casey Jones than him just like
he's a vigilante.
kind of showing up.
You know from that him like, oh, I gotta go, get out there, and then it's more like two good guys teaming up on the bad guys, but when they meet, they don't know so they fight. And then you were saying they also have another fight scene after that when the dam happens, when he screams "damn!" Apparently there is a fight there in the comics.
There's a fight in an extra fight in the alley scene and stuff, and that's just crazy.
Yeah, that would have been too much in the movie, I think. But the scene with him on the couch, like having to leave or like meeting up at the that would have been cool for Casey.
Yeah, I think it would have added just a little bit something different. But I mean, like, again,
also I like the park scene of him showing up, so that's also cool.
Right, like that's also like a 10
Who is this guy? He's just got the mask on and stuff. So I could see not wanting to give that away right away.
I do like that introduction. And you could also, I mean, I guess in theory, like when the people are watching like the news reports at the beginning, and we get the panning of like all of New York. Like you could show Casey sitting down there in the movie, and like because that's when it could have worked, just showing him just sitting there watching it as those reports are going on. And then we see him introduced later when he fights Raph and he gets his mask like knocked off and everything like that. Then being like, oh, that's the dude from before. Like that could have been cool. I don't know.
Another thing we thought was weird though, like in the movie, was the boss showing up to
Charles, yeah.
Charles showing up to April's
Work.
house all the time and just like yelling and berating her at her house, bringing his weird teenage son who's a delinquent over to her house all the time to complain about him too, and he's got to sit in the kitchen of this lady's house his dad hired to work for his newspaper or whatever, and she's or not newspaper, media company, and she's getting yelled at in her own house, and we just thought that was so weird. It's like, when is that such a...
When has that ever been okay?
Yeah, no bosses come to my house.
Like just showing up unannounced, and like, I get it, this is also like...
Cell phones nowadays, though, I guess, take all that away.
Like this is the 90s, so like, like there are no cell phones, but like...
Barely beepers.
But this is New York. There are a ton of payphones. You can drop somebody a line, So
I just assume it's to introduce him and the kid to the story, but it's just a very, like, intrusive... thing the boss is doing, because it's like, wait, is this like her dad at first? Like, why is this guy like just feel so? Why is he yelling at her while she's like getting ready or whatever? It's weird. It's very strange. Not normal boss relationship.
Because like we're truly like first introduced to him when she's taking off the Band-Aid and she closes the mirror and he's just standing behind her, and it's like, whoa, bro. Wait a second, are we in her bathroom now?
Like,
and you're
me
just
and
like,
your wife Jessica were talking, I wouldn't just follow her to the bathroom to keep talking to her, and like while she was taking a Band-Aid off or something.
Right?
It's
That's
just
weird.
A weird vibe.
No matter how good of friends you guys are, that's just weird.
What are we doing here? It's just like and he's yelling at her, so it's like, oh man,
what are we doing here?
Yeah. But April's so cool. She looks iconic looking. She's just man, like between her like curly ginger hair and her yellow rain jacket. It's just, she looks so cool.
It's so great.
Her freckles and
Judith Hogue is one of the best.
Yeah, so cool.
Paige Turco is great in 2 and 3, but it's always one of those things that I always wish that like Judith Hogue could have come back. It's cool that like she's kind of returned to the character, because when she was salty when she didn't get asked to come back, which is like fair, especially if she had like fun and really liked it and thought she could have come back or should have or whatever. It is awesome though, because like she's teamed up with like NECA and whatnot, and like given her likeness to them to like do a bunch of really cool figures of her and everything. And it's great that she's like back out on like the Comic-Con circuits and stuff and showing up there, and like and like even the very like turtle themed one, she's showing up to all of those and whatnot. Obviously, like, she was in Cadillac Man, but like, if you don't know her as April O'Neil, you probably know her as the mom in Halloween Town.
Yep. She's iconic. She's
absolutely,
she's
one
awesome.
of the best. One of the best to ever do it. And her April is absolutely.
And I was just, it's kind of crazy how she's just kind of acting around nothing.
Yeah.
Like the whole movie, she's carrying the movie. Like she's basically talking to herself the whole movie.
Yeah. Well, because that was like the crazy thing about like her interview that she gives for like the Arrow edition, the home video of that. She talks about how like if it's not her and the turtles like all in the same like shot and frame, then if it's just like a medium or a close up of her, then she was basically for like eye shot. She was kind of like talking to like a plate or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like something like that, just to keep the eye line right and whatnot. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's real acting. That's like what Bob Hoskins had to do. And like
it sucks when actors can't act off each other, because that's like the whole point of acting, right?
Yeah.
But like when they do it well like with props instead of people, it's also crazy and good. It's good, really cool to see. But I understand not wanting to do that as an actor too. Yeah. But when it happens and she sells the character, and these characters feel real because she's making them seem real. It's cool. It's good to know.
It's awesome. What about you? You got a favorite line or anything?
I I just love when Raph, they're just going through their cool words. He just says, bitchin'. It's like, what? They cut off the nunchucks, but bitchin' is cool. Because, like, the rest are, like, just very chill words.
Right?
But, yeah.
They're all very, like, just cowabunga, dude-rific and stuff
exactly.
and everything. Hold on one second. Yeah.
I hit myself on the, like, right here.
Aw.
Okay. Well, you're not bleeding. You're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just want to see Shay Shay?
This once.
Okay.
Understandable. Yeah, what about you? You got any favorite line?
So, like, other than obviously the like, I don't think it's loaded, kid. It's like literally words that I've like lived by is wise men say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza. Like without a doubt, like
Great. Wonderful line.
like I love pizza.
Can you imagine being that pizza delivery driver?
Right?
I don't know what, like, I'd be mad, but, like, who do I complain to? And, like, what do I'm like, I'm gonna go back to that sewer tonight and get my tip. Like, I don't know what's going on, like, because, yeah, I don't appreciate the turtles not tipping, first of all, but they're teenagers, I get it. But, yeah, it probably raised a generation of us assholes. Like, you better be here in 30 minutes.
Yeah, 30 minutes or less.
I'm pretty sure, Domino's had to get on that.
And that's like the funny thing, because like that was their like gimmick in the late 80s,
Yeah.
early 90s was like you can get a pizza 30 minutes or less delivered to your door. And oh man,
I think one cool thing about the Turtles, like, is the fact that it started off as this like dark satire of like Daredevil and these types of comics, and it's like a it's bloody and in black and white, and then it turned into this Saturday morning cartoon, so it's like the opposite, all the edge is taken away, and this really finds that cool middle ground of just like slapstick, but also like got that, like I said, gritty kind of feel to it, and that realism that makes a movie a movie. You know what I mean? A live action movie needs to have that a little bit. Unless it's straight camp or something like that, but it's appreciated, and I love how that happy medium was found with a movie like this.
Yeah, I was talking to our friends of the pod, Dave and Scoot, at their table at C2E2, maybe last year or 2 years ago. And we were just talking about oh no, it was absolutely last year, because that's where I got my Mikey as the Terminator from
So
Scoot.
cool.
One of the coolest things. We'll put a picture up of it. Scoot's one of the best. But when I got that from them, we were just talking about Turtles in general, and they were like, "We've got a pitch that like we haven't been able to like pitch to anybody," but they're like, "We've got to take on the Turtles," and I'm like, "That's awesome to hear," because I was like, the Turtles have just one of the most, I know we're talking about the movie, but in general, they have one of the most openings ever. Whether you want to do like a gritty, like almost like real world New York kind of story, whether you want to do like a campy kind of cartoon,
It's like Batman in that way,
but you can also do like the ancient samurai kind of like karate stuff,
with
and like and ninjutsu and stuff, with just the whole backstory of Oroku Saki and Hamato Yoshi. And then you could also do the like sci-fi portion of it, of going into space with like the cranes and like the triceratons and stuff. There is just so much, like the Turtles, despite like where they started as like, again, the satire of like the Daredevils and like Batman, really Daredevil, Frank Miller, and like Jack Kirby kind of stuff. It's really like what Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman really like grew to and really refined it. And that's like Jack Kirby. Their love of Jack Kirby is what helped.
That's what the best satire is. There has to be a love there, otherwise it comes off as just mean. Yeah. And that was that era of kind of, that could happen a lot.
Stick, splinter, foot, hand.
Yeah, exactly. It's like almost a straight 1-to-1, but it's also, there's love behind it, and because of that, it became something way bigger than what it started out as, which most people probably don't even realize that's how it started. So it's very cool that this world has been built off that. And it's it's good to see artists just be able to be weird and then just turn that into a career.
Well, and it's just awesome that this movie is still here 36 years later. I love that they've also, and like the Turtles are still back, and like, you know, people can shit on like Mutant Mayhem all they want. That stuff was so fun, man.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
That movie was so fun, and it's just breathing new life, and just like, sorry guys, but it's allowing the Turtles to still be in the atmosphere enough to where like Arrow and like small boutique shops are willing to take them under, pay to like get the 4K scans and like upgrade them and like do all of that to like put them back out here so that us kids from, you know, like now grown adults from, you know, the late 80s, early 90s can like bathe in the glory of like what was like our childhood, of the things that we love so much.
You know, millennials love nostalgia, and the Turtles hit a certain spot.
Right?
But also, yeah, with the Mutant Mayhem, it is kind of leading into that new direction, and Seth Rogen, again, has love behind it.
Right?
In the production spot, and he's the one that, you know, is getting it done. And it's comedic, and it's also got that element of just like that one is more just that shows you the other side of the Turtles that we don't get with the mutants and how crazy, like there is a lot more characters we don't necessarily get to see in the movies are in these newer movies, because the animated element makes that possible.
Right.
So yeah, I love the direction of the Turtles, and there's supposed to be a new live action movie. I'll definitely not hold my breath. But yeah, there's talks in the air. But let's keep the Turtles going. And I even liked the 2D Turtles show that they did.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
The I love that 2012 show and the 2003 show were both really good, of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the animated hand drawn stuff. That stuff was really great. I haven't watched like Rise, that whole animated section of stuff. I haven't gotten into that yet.
I pretty much watched them all now at this point. They're good. There's there's some funny. There's the funny one in the what was it, the 2000, where it's got the slicker animation where they kind of have the episode where it's the old Turtles from the old animated series, and they have like they're like the kind of doofuses.
It's a 2012.
Yeah, they're kind of doofuses in that shit, and I'm like, you jerks.
You're just being meanies.
Those soft round ones were cool too.
Right. I just love the Turtles. What about like, do you have a favorite scene, set piece?
I'd say for sure the underground facility. I was saying how cool it is with all the arcade machines and the skate ramp and the scene when they're skating around. And there's the Archie comic in there, and like there's just a little like it's like it's sick. It's like blacklit, you know. It's very underground looking. It's very 90s rave style. It's cool. I love that.
I love it too.
The Sam Rockwell scene where he's asking, that whole scene has it. And, yeah, looks cool. I'd hang out there, get all those kids out of there, to open up a bar. Got a cool barcade.
I mean, you're not, and like barcades are coming back now. So
that's what I mean. We feed on that, so that place looks more for us anyway. So yeah.
It's also just a little side note, that place, that location that they had for the Foot Clan lair was also used for Super Mario Bros, the first one in '93, for their like Koopa Land and like wherever.
I'll fight over that movie. I love that movie.
I love that movie too. So that they used it for that, and in The Crow it was also used.
Interesting. Is that where he died? Because that was a big like.
I think it was used for like that final scene in the in that possibly.
But yeah, that's probably my favorite set piece. What about you? You got
my favorite set piece, I think, by far, is the fight at April's apartment that leads to like the whole burn down of like the antique shop in her apartment.
Where the guy's handing out axes.
Yeah.
Just sitting there like with a handful of
axes. Armful of axes, but it's like you have like at the beginning of it, you have Casey just sitting up, you know, like being self-deprecating, looking out at the world. Same thing as Raph. And then Casey catches Raph. Then Casey sees the Foot going to attack Raph, so then he like starts hustling over there. And then you get the like, we're having fun touring. Mikey like shows up behind like I think Leo with the cymbals and stuff. when April brings him downstairs, but it's literally the nunchuck fight with Mikey, or the nunchuck show off with Mikey and the foot member.
But if you're in the UK, you probably won't know what we're talking about.
Unfortunately, at this point, yes. At this point, I'd hope
you've seen the real one.
I know Arrow is based in the UK, so I know they're selling that stuff out there.
Just
and no, but so the Mikey, the nunchuck fight is a big thing.
Good fight, yeah, and they're chopping up when they come in.
And then as you're talking about like the fight, as the fight continues, they're just handing out axes, beating up the floor, and Donatello's like, I don't know, guys, if it's the best time, structurally speaking, for your
I love Donnie's
friends.
He always is touching his head like that. He's always
I don't know if
presenting basically.
Right. I don't know if it's the best time for your friends to structurally speaking drop in right now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another one of my favorite lines.
So they come in through the ceiling, and then the floor,
gives out, and then
there's the fire going on, and it is a crazy scene. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
They're fighting in the midst of all that.
They're fighting in the midst of all that. Then Casey shows up as the Foot Clan is like almost overtaking the Turtles and April and stuff. Like, so that's just like my favorite set piece. I do love the final battle from the street onto the roof, because it's just the Turtles, like even from the lair, from the foot attack on the lair with the smoke and stuff, the Turtles attack them, and then they go upstairs, or basically above ground to the street, to then up on the roof. Yeah, they're just like scaling. It's like that. It's like the video game Rampage. They're just slowly going up more and more. But I just love that. Is like, yeah, that's really great. And that final battle leading up into all of that, I think it's just fun, well paced, like action.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair for sure. Yeah, I think it's just such a fun movie, and it's exactly what it sets out to do, and it's also a love letter to practical effects. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So I was talking about the practical effects along with the lighting are very important in that movie.
Yeah.
The lighting really adds this realism where it's like darker, especially around Splinter because he's ugly, and man, that puppet was a little uglier than the rest.
But I mean, it's like, a perfect example of it is like when you're watching the UK cut of this first Turtles movie compared to the US cut, like in that UK cut of the like footage that isn't like 4K brought up, like Splinter looks like a black rat in it because it's so dark, so shadowy. But like in the like actual like 4K remastered, recolored, and like all of that good stuff, like he looks like a normal brown rat as he's supposed to be. But like it's like, yeah,
because they're darkening shots around him, because if Mikey's in them, they're darkening it so much to take away the nunchucks, and it's hilarious sometimes the way he looks like like he's in interview in like a witness protection or something like that.
Yeah. You'd almost expect
you don't want to show which turtle it is. So.
You almost expect his voice to start getting modulated and stuff. But so yeah, and that's like those are my two like favorite set pieces by far.
Makes sense to me. But shout out Jim Henson for
Jim Henson, practical effects. Brian Henson being the second unit director of this stuff. And eventually Brian Henson goes on to direct like all of the Muppet movies from the 90s and everything, kind of based from like this stuff here, which is pretty crazy. Brian Henson also really talks about the difficulty of having the basically two turtle suits, one that a person can be in, and then like
an animatronic,
and then one person basically just doing like the lips, and then like the actor moving their hands and the body and all the other parts of it. And then like one being like basically almost fully animatronic, where it's like them sitting down or whatever. So
movement. Yeah.
So like then like you see all of that. That's all like just like a puppeteer and
like
stuff.
when Donnie's sipping out of the straw or whatever.
Yeah.
His teeth are like.
Yeah. Well, and they talk about
that's how people drink.
They talk about how sometimes like they built the animatronics and stuff in the UK, so they cleared the frequencies in the UK. But when they brought them over from the Henson shop in the UK to America to shoot, they weren't the same frequency. So sometimes
Oh,
planes,
that's so interesting.
sometimes planes and like whatever other like CB radios or whatever would mess with their stuff
My God.
and would make like the turtles like twitch and whatnot
Yeah,
sometimes.
That's
So
funny.
that's also why then like sometimes like Judith Hogue would she would be looking at a paper plate even instead of just having a turtle stand there, because like it might be on the fritz, and if it's like if the motors and stuff are moving, it's making a sound
Yeah,
that's
you're
going to be
freaking out.
ruining her like her like voice
Yeah,
and
of
like
course.
audio of it, and because oh my god, so there. The TMNT movie is just a labor of love, and it's one of those things of like, for me, what I always love about filmmaking is like the movie magic of building something, having something tangible that is real, that is there.
This is such a movie. This is
Yeah.
a thing that shouldn't exist, but it does because a bunch of people put their heads together. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is such a like just fun blockbuster,
Right?
old school type of movie. Where,
And the cool thing about this too is that like Brian Henson talks about like the building the turtles and the puppeteer and the puppets and stuff for them, and the animatronics was like a real challenge because they hadn't done somebody like inside a suit
Yeah,
like that being
right.
able to move, and then electronics like that, and also taking away all of the wires and everything in there, and only doing everything like
right.
basically, for lack of a better term now, Bluetooth, but through those radio waves and responders and stuff, and like, man, it's just cool. Like that is like some of the best way of filmmaking. I mean, that's had the Lord of the Rings not figured out motion capture. Like in the end, there's a real good chance that we might have gotten a Gollum that looks like that. And I'm not saying that like what Weta did and like the whole revolutionary motion capture that we got from it, but I would also love to pay to see.
Well, no,
Andy
CGI
Serkis.
got lazier. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That they put so much work and labor into it back then,
Right.
where it was just as much. It was like almost more expensive to do it. It was. more
Yeah, because
expensive
you were
to do it
shooting.
then.
You were shooting it.
So
3
now,
times.
there's certain times where you're looking at CGI, you're like, why did things look better 20 years ago? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so it's like we need, there's that mix of, where like Mandalorian came out and we really like got it, like that feeling of mixing
Yeah.
the practical and the new technology with the lighting and stuff, especially.
Yeah, with the
Like,
volume
that's
and
very
all of that,
amazing.
yeah. So yeah, all of this is awesome. I highly suggest, if you guys can still find them. I mean, these are like the original prints, but they've definitely put out the 30th anniversary in a hardcover, I believe. We'll put a picture up of that as well. But like, oh man, these, get the adaptions, get the Arrow collection of the TMNT trilogy. Yeah, let me grab mine. Get these. They're beautiful. They're awesome. You gotta own them. If you're a TMNT fan, you gotta own them. If you're a physical media person, you gotta add these to the collection. They're well worth it. All of the documentaries, the special features on here is great. All of the artwork is amazing. They also give you little trinkets and stuff in here.
Yeah, posters for each movie.
Yeah, we'll do an unboxing of them. Drop that sometime later. I guess with all of that, have we missed anything?
Not that I can think of off my top.
Yes, one thing we have missed: the alternate ending.
Oh yeah.
Okay, the
We did
alternate
watch that.
the alternate ending is the one thing that I wanted to talk about as well. And it's crazy because I remember watching this on YouTube for the first time, like literally like 3 years ago.
Yep.
And the alternate ending is April O'Neil and Danny pitching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles based off of April O'Neil's artwork that she drew of the turtles from the farmhouse as a comic book. And it is crazy and wild because you have the 4 turtles hanging outside of the executive's window. So the executive's back is to the window facing April and Danny, and you see the 4 turtles pop up. And in the end, like, he like turns it down. And he's like, no, this is just like
It's too crazy.
Yeah, he's like, it's too crazy of an idea. Mikey almost falls off of whatever skyscraper they're on in the middle of broad daylight.
Here's the thing why I can understand why they would get rid of that alternate ending. It does kind of make you feel like she might be crazy and making all this up. Like, even though you see them and stuff, the fact that maybe nobody else around does. I mean, I know Danny's in the thing with her, but like, yeah, it's very interesting that like that could have been open-ended enough for people to not understand, and
Yeah.
it would have been It would have been funny.
But so I just had to say, like, that was that's also included in this Arrow stuff. Watch it, but it's also included their version of it in the comics as well. In these comic adaptions, they put it in there.
I mean, she's throughout the whole movie drawing
Yeah.
the turtles and
and doing all that. So it also works in that sense.
Journalist, she's gonna be.
One thing about the comic adaptions, Archie is in color, the Mirage is not. That's probably the biggest difference in it. Of those, we hit the alternate ending. I think we've talked our way through TMNT.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna wrap this up. I am Jimmy with the Triple C Collective.
I'm Colin.
We want to thank you all for joining us. Please like and subscribe to our video and to our channel. We hope you all stay safe, and we shall see you in the New York sewers or in the real world.
Cowabunga.
Booyah Kasha!